The Temperance card corresponds with Sagittarius, so I pulled them all from my decks and organized them in chronological order from newest to oldest, which goes all the way back to the 15th century. Let's take a look. This is an updated version of the Rider-Waite design. An angel with cups pours from one to another with 1 foot in a body of water. The water likely represents a connection to Source, or the cosmic ocean. It's a different aesthetic, but many of the same elements are in this version as well. This version attributes the card to Scorpio. Instead of 1 foot in a small body of water, the whole scene takes place at the ocean. There's a few choices I like here, but perhaps my favorite are the human heads being used as cups. This is an updated version of a classic deck. This design really emphasizes the water flowing across your midsection, which a lot could be read into. There's a lot that can be said about this concept. There's a nice play of contrasting and complementary symbols. Rainbows, like the one seen below, are said to be esoterically linked with Sagittarius. This is an Egyptian-themed interpretation. These columns show many symbols, including the feathers of Ma'at. The main themes are intact here, but I think it's interesting that the angel is more submerged than most. This angel appears to be more androgynous than others, which I think is symbolically very intriguing. This version is clearly inspired by the Thoth deck. Down below we have the alternative hermetic title, Daughter of the Reconcilers. This environment is barren, with the exception to this stream, which flows between 2 mountains. There's nested squares and triangles in the background, and what appears to be a sundial below. There's plenty to decode here. A two-faced woman mixes into a cauldron. One of my favorite details is the Latin phrase written within the symbolic rainbow, which translates to, "Visit the interior parts of earth. By rectification, thou shalt find the hidden stone." This card set the standard for many modern decks. There's been several interpretations for this light in the background, some claiming it's extraterrestrial in origin. In the wrinkles of the gown, there's 4 Hebrew letters, Yod-He Vav-He, otherwise known as the Tetragrammaton. Of this era, this deck continues to be a personal favorite, but overall, its design choices are pretty classic. Exposed legs or feet are a common theme with this card, and this one emphasizes it a little more than others. A third vessel rests on the shoulder of this angel, perhaps being the true origin of the liquid being poured, and an exposed breast differentiates it from the rest. This version of the card inspired many to follow, and as you can see, most of the traditional elements are present. I think this is very interesting. This card takes place in the clouds. A woman pours into the cup of a king, which is a reference to Jupiter, the ruling sign of Sagittarius. Here the liquid is either invisible or remains within the vessels. What's supposedly an ermine or a weasel looks at a mirror on the ground. Lastly, this woman pours between vessels, but there's no visible liquid. Instead, her starry dress, symbolic of the cosmic ocean, acts as a brilliant metaphor and substitute. Notice anything interesting? I'd love to know. Thanks.